3 players with something to prove heading into training camp. Number 1, Jameson Williams. Oh, why is Jameson Williams back in the news? Well, let's just get this straight. I don't think he has much to prove on the field. I think we're well aware of how talented Jameson Williams can be. But 2022 didn't have training camp because of the ACL injury. 2023 tweaked his hamstring preseason, so didn't really get a training camp there as well. 2024 was the first time he was totally available for a training camp. Let's make it 2 years in a row. Jameson Williams, just prove to everyone that you can be available. Stay out of the news. I don't want to hear about suspensions. I don't want to see any videos of you lighting off fireworks. I need you to stay healthy for one of the first times during training camp. I don't need reports that you've been pulled over and had a gun in the car for any sort of reason. I don't need Jameson Williams in my news feed at all during training camp. So just stay level-headed.
What about the news feed of like, Jameson Williams is crushing training camp?
I love that stuff, but I need all my Jameson Williams news to be on-field related. Just stay out of the news. That's all I'm asking for, Jameson Williams. That's what you have to prove. Number 2, Tyleik Williams. Here are the Lions' first-round picks since Brad Holmes has taken over. Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, and Terrion Arnold. I'd say every single one of those has been a hit. You can make the argument maybe Terrion Arnold hasn't been, but he's only been through one season so far, so you can't call him a bust. Those are some pretty lofty expectations to live up to when you look at the other first-round picks that Brad Holmes has brought in over his tenure as the Detroit Lions GM. They draft Tyleik Williams with the idea, you're going to fill the void on day one. You're going to fill the Aleem McNeil void on day one, upon arrival. That is the hope. That is the dream. That is the expectation. But that is yet to be determined what is going to happen, right? We've still got Levi Onwuzurike knocking on the door for the interior spots. Still got Josh Paschal there too. They brought in Roy Lopez, who's more of a nose tackle, but they have options, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Tyleik Williams needs to prove to everyone that he is worthy of stepping in day one and filling the void of Aleem McNeil. You don't have to be as good as Aleem McNeil. You don't have to play as much as Aleem McNeil did, because it felt like for being a D tackle, Aleem McNeil rarely left the field. I'm not saying you got to be playing at a Pro Bowl level, but you have to prove to the Lions that you are worthy of being taken 28 because you can at least fill some of the void on day one. And then the third one would be Giovanni Manu for me. This is the guy that last year in the draft, they gave up a 2025 third-round pick to jump in back to the 4th round and take Giovanni Manu, a guy who was on basically no one's big board. You move a third-round pick to take a guy in the 4th round, this guy better be a hit. Well, last year he played 0 snaps. 0 snaps, was barely even active on game days. The Lions say, oh, we don't draft on measurables. We draft based on character. Well, Giovanni Manu, 6'8", 350 pounds. You did draft this guy based on traits. Oh, we don't draft on measurables? Yes, you did. This guy was one of the most raw athletes in the draft last season. You took him with the idea, look what we can make him become. Look what we can mold him into. Prove to us that this wasn't a mistake. Because if you don't jump Dan Skipper on the depth chart and you are all of a sudden offensive tackle 4, that easily becomes Brad Holmes' worst draft pick. You moved on from a 3rd to take him in the 4th for him to be your 4th offensive tackle. Makes no sense. So he's got to prove that he is worthy of a roster spot and worthy of that 4th round pick that they took him in. There you go.